till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
What's up guys, it's Morrany here and welcome to a new episode of the Dofus Let's Play series. Last time we were at the Brock dungeon and at the Shin Lava dungeon, and now we continue our journey with this team here. The next one is Great Correlator and Kwakwa. I think I do kwakwa off stream because I did it in a previous video and I think it's not so interesting to see again. And then we head over to Otomai Island and start with the Great Correlator. So I do the kwakwa dungeon off screen and then head back to you when I get to Jumbo Mambo again. So see you later. Okay, I'm finished with the end boss and I did clean hands. It was pretty easy because on the Fecker I have now the paralyzing glyph that helps me with the clean hands achievement, and I got lucky with the kwakwa. It was weak to water damage. And I picked up a quest from -1.2. There are 3 different quests. The first quest is Cannonball. There you have to go to the Moon Island and defeat the Cannibal dungeon. We do this later in during the dungeon rusher. Ghost on Ghost action. That's a quest where you have to go to the ghost dungeon. How is it called? We already did that. Let's look up this pretty fast. Boostage. You have to do this in the boostage, so just run the dungeon normally, and then at the end of this dungeon you can talk to a skeleton, I think. And then you get some extra XP and this nice emoji cry. And here we have a quest for the kwakwa dungeon, and at the end we get some nice extra XP. I have ×4 multiplier. That is the reason why I get so much XP. Yeah, so pretty nice. Almost all level 68, just the grass a little bit behind. The Fecker is already level 70. And I skipped the running part, and let's see how much XP I get from the Jumbo Mambo. So now I'm at Jumbo Mambo and I give the quest 68, and in addition to the nice XP you get nice karmas from this dungeon rusher. I didn't sell anything, so I think every character has around 78, 79 KK. Pretty good, I think. And the drops and achievements. Someone asked me why I don't open all these achievements. I think when I open the achievements to the combination of achievement XP and XP ×4 from my characters, this would be not so realistic, and I think if I collect all these achievements I'm around level 80, something like that, and that's That's the reason why I don't want to level so fast. I level faster than usually. That's the thing of the series here. But I hope it's okay for everyone, because I don't have so much time to grind the levels and stuff like that. Leveling is pretty easy, but it's time consuming and I don't have time, so I did this with 4 times multiplier. Yeah. Okay. Next one is the Great Correlator. Legendary Crackler. It's on level 70 dungeon, I think, and it's pretty hard in this set, I think. So just I continue with the Great Correlator. Therefore, we have to go to Otomai, and I want to show you a little trick. Maybe some of you know that you can use the portal and the Rogue's Secret Passage and Fogonaut Submarine to navigate over the World of 12. So when we go to the Alio Temple and get back to Sophokia, we don't have to run all the maps down here, and then we can just move one map left, and we saved the Sophokia sub. So imagine you have to run all the way from, for example, Amagna village to Sophokia, or when you take the rogue passage down here, with this method you can save so much time. And in addition, before you go to the Otomai Island and do the quest here on 15.28, look up the resources you have to take with you there. So the quest is called The New World. Just search for Dofus New World, and then this is the Dofus wiki occurs. And here it says items required: 2 Elite Chafer Arrowhead, 1 big Cannonball, and therefore you need very many pots, 1 Foxifier ear and 1 sesame oil. And the next quest is the Castaway quest. So you get to an island which is between the World of 12 or Amagna and the Otomai Island, and there you also need some resources. So get these from the shop, from the market, I don't know, and then you save time and just click through the quests and you have that. So I put this on the second monitor and I use these zappies here to navigate, and I know that the resource market is at the temple way quay, so I select that. Maybe some of you watched my video about making kamas in the abyssal area. That was the same way. And we check the market. Hopefully it's not so expensive. So what do we need? We need Elite Chafer Head. And we have 4 characters. We need 2 each, so that's 8. And just buy 10 from the shop. Then we need Foxfighter here. Need 4 of them. I have to buy this 10 because the shop ran out of ones. And then sesame oil. I buy 10 from the shop. And big Cannonball. So I think I have to buy this for each character because these have 500 pots. Oh, No, it's working. With the strange character, it's no problem. So now what I do, don't do this because yeah, it's not a good method. Because when you lay something on the ground, the other adventurers can pick it up, and then you lose these resources. But now there is no other players on this map, so I do this like that. It's faster. So like this. Who's missing that? The Annie is missing the Cannonball. Has no pots. What can I do? Now I have to pick things up again. Yeah, I just manage that and get back to you when I have all the resources. So now I have all the things for the first quest, and here for the second quest you need one coconut palm trunk, one Flip's cursed little box, one cocoa straw, and one coconut slice. So I get that pretty fast. Coconut palm trunk, 4 of these. The coconut slice, also 4 of these. Then we need the straw. Then no straw. Cocoa straw. 10 of these. And Flip's little box. I ran out of karmas. So I have to transfer some more pots, because when I want to exchange the other things, I can't carry them. So here we go again. 4 of these. So we get back to there. So now I run just with the Annie and the panda and try to teleport with the marriage, which I showed you in the last video. And now I use the GPS mounts to get to the quest. Okay, panda is here, Annie is on the way, so I can teleport my craw and also the fecker. Okay, now talk to him, accept the quest, go to the island and agree to bring all the supplies. And we already have all of them, so we can go on board. And by the way, panda is level 70. Easy like that. And we have to fight against this monster, I equip my kwak again and also the earth kwak here. And start the fight. Sickly Boomba level 26. Should be hard. Don't know how much life this one has. I think he can make himself invisible. But let's see. Oh. One MP missing. Quite high damage. So next turn I try to find him with the craw. Oh, he's stopped invisible. And the damage from absorptive arrow is quite good. Around 130 to 160 I think. It's pretty good. 300 damage in one round at level 70 nearly, but in a level 40 set. Pretty good, I think. Boom boom. Next up, sickly Cannonball. Get the craft and the first line of AP, and then should be good. Oh, it's not enough. Just skip. Push the craw a little bit. Okay, first quest is done. And now we get to the Castaway Island, and now I have to get all the other resources on the floor. But again, don't do this, because as the pop-up says, other adventures can take the resources. In this case, these are not expensive, but it is not so good when you drop them and want to pick them up with the other character and someone other steals the resources and you have to buy them again and stuff like that. It's annoying. So, okay, we got all this here. Just accept the quest, and we prepared for that, so we can continue hand over the items and get another level up and some nice karmas. So, and you have to talk again and leave the Castaway Island. Now we are at the Otomai Island. Just walk to the sap, and I get on my mount, and we see at the correlator dungeon end room. So accidentally I didn't record the dungeon fight. Yeah, I messed it up. But what I can say about this dungeon, you have to pay attention just to close combat. These crabs here have quite a similar spells. They have resistance spell depending on their color, and these palm flowers, they apply a negative resistance to your characters and just hit in close combat, so you have to pay attention to this combination. The correlator has a -1 MP spell, but this is just a static spell, and he has the spell Coral's Throwing. It is from a 1 to 10 range. Does also reduce 1 MP and does water damage. And Correlation, also static spell, -10% water resistance and does water damage. The Great Correlator has 2000 health points, is weak to earth and air resistance, and this one, it's not so difficult, I would say, but you have to pay attention to his insta-kill, and this is insta-kill costs 16 AP, and as you can see, does 21,600 air damage and kills a target. But he can only cast the spell when he is in the state where he gained 12 LP from this spell, but also removes 3 MP, so he has no MPs left. Try to avoid to get to the close combat and get luck from him, so he can hit him. He can hit your character in close combat, so he insta kills your character. Just hit him from range, and this shouldn't be a problem. Sorry, I messed up the recording. I don't know. I maybe forgot to click on recording, or it was just a bug. I hope that's not a big of a deal. Yeah. I could run this dungeon again, but I think this dungeon is not so big, not so difficult to show you that I did it. I didn't do any achievement here. Great Correlator. We have the achievement Impertinence, where you have to finish your turn next to an enemy. I didn't do that because I left the Great Correlator for last, and as I said before, when you end your turn next to him, he will insta-kill you. And Blitzkrieg, you have to kill him in one turn. It was not possible for my team, but in the end, no big deal. And I catch up at the Berliner Thumb again and bring her the quest. Okay, now I'm at Berliner Thumb and I report we are back from the Grow to Hesque, I don't know, and we have to go to 2-1 to Percy Pointer to complete this challenge this quest. So I do this. It is pretty fast. As I said in the last episode, just leave it in the comments if you like it like this when I talk, when I play, or do you like it more when I record the gameplay and talk afterwards. For me, it's easier to talk while playing. Basically, I don't have to re-record all the time when I get any misspelling and wrong words and stuff like that. Yeah. Just leave it in the comments how you like it. Okay, we are at the Percy pointer and explain that Berliner Thumb sent us. Okay, and we got a new quest. And it's the Royal Coco blob. And I know this from the previous dungeon rusher I did. Now we have to do the blob dungeon 4 times. So I would say I do the blob dungeon once, and when I am at the boss room of the Royal Coco, I show you how the boss fight is working, and then I do the red one, the blue one, and the green one off screen, and then get back to you when we are finished with that. I think that's the best thing. Not showing you 4 times the same fight, just with other boss monsters. I hope it's okay for you, and I come back to you when we are finished with the first one. Okay, we are at the 5th room. Here at the BB blob, we have to select the different blob you want to challenge. So we want to challenge the Royal Coco blob. So pay attention that you select the right one. A little bit of lag here because of the server backup. Okay, confirm our choice. Before we start the fight, I want to show you the monsters in this dungeon again on the Dofus website. Also, if leave me feedback in the comments if you like these parts of the video where I explain all the creatures within the dungeon, or isn't it necessary to do that so I can go on and do more stuff. So we have 4 different blobs here, but I want to start with the normal blobs. We have 4 different colors, and depending on their color they are weak to one element. Coco is weak to earth and has resistances to other elements. It's quite similar to the Coco blob set. If you wear all 4 pieces, you have 50% in the element of the actual set. So when you wear the Coco blob set, you have 50% resistances in air, but you are weak, I think, also 50% to earth resistance, and this comes from the Coco blob. Indigo is weak to fire and has high chance resistance, and so on. When we look at the spells, each blob can summon a B-blob. They don't do so much damage, but if you have 2 blobs, 3 blobs in the mob, what you have in the outside of the dungeon, or when you run a higher number than me, you have more blobs in the fight, and this will last so long. Yeah, but they don't do so much damage, just heals a little bit. And they have a spell that makes invisible, does around 50 to 70 damage. I don't know what this is. Blob petition, I think that's not correct. And this they have a spell where they apply a glyph on the floor, which does also air damage or water damage, depends on their color, and removes 1 MP. So the most dangerous monster in this dungeon is the Greedo blob. He has just 1 spell, but he can also insta-kill. He has a base 4 MP, and every time when he can hit a character of your team or a monster in his team, an ally, he insta-kills the target, gain 200 vitality and also 2 MP. This is very, very tricky, especially in the 4th room you have 2 of them. And for me, they didn't eat themselves, so the Greedo blob didn't eat the other Greedo blob, so you have 2 of them, and for the most of the time they start before you can kill another monster, and then they have 6 MP and you have to run away and try to kill them as fast as possible because they will insta-kill you in close combat. Yeah, the blob shroom does pretty high close combat damage, reduces for range, and has also a pretty high water damage spell on range, and does has another spell that reduces the HP when you use MP. The Trunky blob has a static spell that inflicts 60 to 90 fire damage, can heal a little bit, and also has a spell that reveals items in his area. So when you are a SRAM or something like that, he has a spell that can reveal your character. And now I will show you the Royal Coco blob, because we are at the Royal Coco blob. He has 2400 HP, is weak to all resistant except of the color of the monster, so he has 94% air resistance, pretty bad for my Kra, and has different spells. Yeah, I don't know what this spell does. Has a 1 to 4 range damage spell and steals MP. And he has a spell where he can spawn another blob. For the most of the time it isn't so dangerous, but in the case he spawns a Greedo blob and he's next to you, then you are basically fucked. Yes, and he has also a spell which applies air resistance to all other enemies on the field in a 1 to 4 range. Yeah, that's basically it. And now we start the fight, and I don't know how it will go. I think we can do it, but let's see. So here it is. Okay. The Kra can't hit or doesn't do any damage, so I will focus on the other one with the Kra, and the Pandava goes in front that he can attack the Coco blob, and the Fecker also goes in front. Sometimes my mouse is lagging a little bit. It's pretty annoying. Okay, first pony. And AP buff the Kra, and AoE heal, always important. Oh, I didn't mention the achievements. You have Duel and Faint-Hearted, but you have these achievements in all 4 blob groups, for all 4 blob bosses. You have to do the achievements for the Coco, the Morello, the Indigo, and the... what is the last one? The Pippin. And then you get the achievements. Or you run the multi-blob, then you get it. You can get it on the same time, because you face 4 blobs on the same time. 4 royal blobs. But we get to that point later in the adventure. So I know this is a summon, but I want to kill this, that the monsters on the map don't get so much. So, okay. Something is blocking the path, so I think it's the deep blob. Of the Faker AP. I just focused on the other monsters first. This will get interesting. Maybe I have to tank with the panda and always heal up with the Ripsa and shield with the Faker. Maybe that's a good idea. Okay, first down, pretty good. Okay. Okay. This one is also dead. I try to kill him in close combat. Let's see how this works. Maybe the damage gets too high, but I don't know exactly. I love this AoE spell on the Ripsa. It's so overpowered. So, this is the spell what I said before, 100% in air resistance. The damage is just from the pushback. But it's working well, the damage is not so high. No problem at this point. Can heal up with the Ripsa and just damage with the other ones. That's okay. So with the Kra, try to buff the panda. And shields of the Feka are also very good. Now I use this glyph. $100 damage in close combat. So this turn he has to die. Okay, very good. Now just the Coco blobs left. And I love these sets, they are so good. In the combination with the Ripsa, you have 9 AP and 4 MP. Very good at this point. Also good for this dungeon here. This is just a level 50 dungeon, but in the past I did the dungeons with level 60 sets or something like that. Now I realize you can do them also with level 40 sets. And save a lot of karmas. Okay, Kra it doesn't do any damage just from the pushback. And what can I do also? More pushback damage. Can he finish off? Yes. GG. GG VP. Okay. Just in 8 minutes, 8 turns. Not too bad, I think. Level 74 on the Feka, 72 on Panda and any Ripsa. Very good. And then after you defeated one of the Royal Coco of the Royal Blobs, you can enter the multi-blob dungeon. So I don't do this now because the team is too weak for this. This is, I think, a level 120 dungeon. And I leave the dungeon to get to PSC Pointer again. And I think then I will wrap up this episode. Because it is lasting for about 43 minutes. And I think that's enough again. Compared with the old times, the village sub is so empty. I remember the times when the village sub was the meeting point number 1 and everyone was at village when he was chatting around or just challenging each other, but now it's basically dead. So Raw level 72, Annie 73, the Feka 75, and Panda is 73. The Fecker got a nice new spell. Reinforced Protection. You gain 120 power and 160 power for glyphs. Pretty good. Yeah, and that's basically the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, leave a comment in the section below if you like the style of this little of this gameplay here with the live commentary, or should I do the commentary from the other videos. Subscribe the channel. Don't forget that to support me to make more videos, and we see us the next time.